time-restricted eating and athletic performance, balancing metabolic and performance goals. Athletes operate at the margins of human physiological capacity, where even modest perturbations in fuel availability, recovery, or circadian alignment can meaningfully affect performance outcomes. The rising interest in time-restricted eating among athletic populations reflects both the metabolic benefits demonstrated in sedentary and overweight individuals and the theoretical appeal of optimizing circadian alignment. However, the unique demands of training and competition create a fundamentally different context where the risk-benefit calculus of time restriction requires careful recalibration. The primary tension emerges between optimizing body composition and maintaining training capacity. Many athletes, particularly in weight class or aesthetic sports, face pressure to minimize body fat while preserving lean mass and performance. Time-restricted eating offers a structured approach to caloric management that some athletes find compatible with training schedules. When eating windows align with training sessions, allowing adequate pre- and post-workout nutrition, some athletes successfully combine time restriction with sustained performance. The approach may offer particular value during off-season periods focused on body composition manipulation without concurrent peak performance demands. However, aggressive time restriction during heavy training blocks poses substantial risks. Inadequate nutrient timing around intense exercise can impair acute performance, compromise recovery, blunt training adaptations, and increase injury risk. The specific vulnerabilities depend on sport type and training phase. Endurance athletes conducting multiple daily sessions may find time-restricted eating incompatible with optimal fueling strategies that traditionally emphasize frequent carbohydrate intake. Strength and power athletes require strategic protein distribution across the day to maximize muscle protein synthesis, a goal potentially undermined by compressed eating windows that force large, potentially suboptimal protein boluses. The emerging research on fasted training adds another dimension. Some athletes intentionally train in fasted states to enhance fat oxidation capacity and potentially improve metabolic flexibility. While acute metabolic changes occur with fasted training, the performance implications remain contentious. Studies show increased intramuscular fat oxidation capacity but inconsistent effects on actual performance outcomes and sometimes impaired high-intensity work capacity. The periodic strategic use of fasted training sessions may offer training stimulus diversity without the potential downsides of chronic time restriction. Individual response variability appears even more pronounced in athletic populations than in general samples. Some athletes report enhanced recovery, mental clarity, and stable energy with time-restricted eating, while others experience decreased training capacity, mood disturbances, and inadequate recovery. These differences likely reflect interactions between training load, baseline metabolic health, chronotype, and genetic factors affecting fuel metabolism and circadian function. The presence of energy deficiency, whether intentional or inadvertent, creates additional risk, particularly for female athletes vulnerable to relative energy deficiency in sports syndrome. The prudent recommendation for athletes emphasizes individualized implementation under professional guidance, ideally involving sports dietitians familiar with both time-restricted eating and sport-specific nutrition requirements. Athletes should avoid implementing aggressive time restriction during competitive seasons or high-volume training blocks. Any experimentation should occur during lower-stakes periods with careful monitoring of training metrics, recovery markers, and performance outcomes. The default position should favor evidence-based sport nutrition principles over trendy interventions, implementing time restriction only when clear individual benefits emerge without compromising training adaptation or performance capacity. Athletic optimization requires integrating multiple variables, and meal timing represents just one factor among many more established determinants of success.